What if a simple stone building in the middle of a vast desert holds a secret that has united millions for thousands of years? Imagine a place chosen by prophets, touched by angels, and surrounded by stories of miracles and faith beyond understanding. Beneath the scorching sun and endless stars, a mystery unfolds, one of survival, hope, and divine mercy. From a mother's desperate search for water to a stone said to fall from the heavens, every part of this story carries a hidden message. This is not just history, it's a journey of the heart, filled with courage and whispers of the unseen. What connects people from every corner of the world to this sacred place? Stay with us, because the truth behind the Kaaba is more powerful and more mysterious than you ever imagined. I will advise you not to miss or skip any part of this video if you are a true believer and worshiper of Allah. Make sure you watch to the end and discover the mystery no one has ever told you about the Kaaba. You can support this channel by liking and subscribing to help us spread the gospel of Allah across all nations. If you are ready, let's get into the video. Long ago, before anyone could remember or write down stories, before cities and roads, there was a vast and endless desert. A desert so quiet and still, it seemed almost empty, except for the stars that shimmered like tiny lanterns in the deep night sky. The desert held a secret, a great and holy secret that would change the world forever. This secret was a place like no other. It was not just a house made of stones, but a house with a divine purpose. This place was called the Kaaba. It was the first house built on earth to worship the one true God, Allah. The story of the Kaaba begins with two special people, the prophet Ibrahim, known to many as Abraham, and his son Ishmael. The Quran tells us that Allah chose Ibrahim and Ishmael for a sacred task. They were to build this house, the Kaaba, as a place where people could come to pray and feel close to Allah, the creator of all things. Imagine the desert under the blazing sun, Ibrahim and Ishmael, father and son, working side by side. They carried stones, heavy stones from the earth, and laid them carefully, one on top of another. Their hands were rough from labor, their skin burnt by the hot sun, yet their hearts were full of hope and faith. They were not building just walls, they were building a symbol, a home for the worship of Allah, free from any idols or false gods. Their every stone was a prayer, their every breath a call to truth. The Quran speaks about this moment and mentioned, O Muhammad, when we designated for Abraham the site of the house, saying, "Do not associate anything with me, and purify my house for those who perform tawaf, and those who stand in prayer, and those who bow and prostrate." Surah Al-Hajj 22:26. This command from Allah was clear. The Kaaba was to be a pure place, free from anything that would take away from the worship of Allah alone. It was a place of unity, where all who believed could come, no matter where they lived or what language they spoke. But the story of Ibrahim and Ismail building the Kaaba is wrapped in mystery. What was this place before they came? Some say the desert land was already special, chosen by Allah from the beginning of time, waiting silently for this moment. Others wonder if the Kaaba's location was known only to the heavens. As Ibrahim and Ismail worked, their hands steady despite the heat, they knew their mission was not only to build walls, but to call people to a higher truth. Allah commanded Ibrahim, "And proclaim to the people the Hajj, pilgrimage. They will come to you on foot and on every lean camel. They will come from every distant pass." Surah Al-Hajj 22:27. Ibrahim was to invite all people to come to the Kaaba, to leave behind idols and false beliefs, and to worship Allah alone. This was a message of hope and courage. Imagine standing in the desert, calling out to thousands, some eager to listen, others stubborn in their old ways. Ibrahim's voice echoed through the silent desert. "Come to the house of Allah, worship Him alone, leave your idols and find the truth." Yet many feared change. They clung to the statues and images made by their own hands, believing these could protect them. Ibrahim's call was met with resistance, yet his faith never faltered. The Quran reminds us of Ibrahim's steadfastness and mentioned when Abraham said, My Lord, make this a secure city and provide its people with fruits. Whoever of them believes in Allah in the last day. Surah Ibrahim 14:35. Ibrahim prayed for the people who would come to believe, for the city that would grow around the Kaaba, a city of faith, peace, and security. Night fell on the desert. The sun's fierce heat was replaced by a cool breeze. Stars glittered, almost as if they were watching the sacred house being built below. The silence was filled with a strange power, the power of a promise. Ibrahim and Ismail paused to look at what they had created. The Kaaba was simple, just a cube of stones, but it carried the weight of the entire world's hope. It was a beacon in the vast, empty desert, calling people toward faith. The Quran tells us, "And we made the house a place of return for the people and a place of security." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:125. The Kaaba was meant to be a place where people would find peace and feel safe to turn to Allah. It was a home for the heart, but there is a deeper mystery still. Why does a simple stone building hold such power? Why does the entire world turn towards it in prayer? Why do millions travel every year to walk around it, to touch its walls and to feel close to Allah? These questions live in the hearts of believers, whispering that the Kaaba is more than just stone. It is a symbol of unity, a sign of faith, and a reminder that no matter how wide the world may be, all hearts can be connected by love for Allah. As you imagine the desert again, picture Ibrahim and Ismail's hands placing the last stone. Feel the quiet strength in their eyes, the hope that their work would last forever. Feel the silent prayers that made the Kaaba a house not just of stones, but of faith. And so the story of the Kaaba began, a story of trust, courage, and divine purpose. It is a story that continues today. Every time a Muslim faces the Kaaba in prayer, every time pilgrims gather to perform tawaf, walking around the sacred house 7 times, hearts full of devotion. The Kaaba is a mystery from the past, a miracle in the present, and a promise for the future. A promise that, no matter how lost we feel, we can always find our way back to the one who created us. Among the many wonders of the Kaaba, there is one that captures the hearts and imaginations of millions, the black stone. Nestled firmly in one corner of the sacred building, this stone holds a secret, a mystery that stretches beyond the sands of the desert and into the vastness of the heavens. The Quran does not tell us exactly what the black stone looks like or where it truly came from. It simply speaks of the Kaaba as the house of Allah and commands that it be purified for worship. But generations of Muslims have passed down stories about this extraordinary stone, stories wrapped in faith, wonder, and reverence. Imagine the black stone glowing softly under the sun, its surface smooth but worn by the gentle touch of millions over thousands of years. Pilgrims from every corner of the world travel great distances, their hearts pounding with hope and longing, just to touch or kiss this stone during the Hajj pilgrimage. What is it about this stone that draws so many? Why do hands tremble with reverence as they reach out toward it? Some say the black stone was sent directly from the heavens, that it is a precious gift from Allah, placed there as a symbol of divine presence and mercy. Imagine angels descending from the skies, carrying this stone, glowing with the light of the stars and the power of the unseen world. The stone is not just a rock, it is a connection, a bridge between earth and the heavens. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself showed great respect for the black stone. He taught his followers to kiss or touch it if they could during tawaf, the ritual of walking around the Kaaba 7 times. He called it a blessed stone, a touchstone of Allah. Yet he reminded everyone that it was not the stone itself that held power, but Allah alone, the Creator. The black stone's true nature remains a mystery. No one can say for sure what it is made of or where it came from. Some scientists and historians suggest it might be a meteorite, stone fallen from the sky, carrying the secrets of the universe within it. Meteorites are rare and ancient, forged in the heart of exploding stars. If this is true, then the black stone is a silent witness to the vast cosmos and a symbol of Allah's creation, stretching far beyond the earth. Others believe the stone's origin is miraculous. beyond human understanding, a sign for the faithful that Allah's presence is real and near. This mystery adds a magical aura to the Kaaba, transforming it from a simple building into a portal of faith and wonder. Through centuries, the black stone has survived storms, invasions, and fires. It was once broken into pieces, yet these pieces remain carefully held and embedded in the Kaaba, held together by a silver frame. This delicate restoration shows how precious the stone is to believers, an object treated with utmost respect and care. The Quran reminds us that faith often dwells in the unseen and the mysterious. It is He who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and His throne was upon the water, that He might test you which of you is best indeed. Surah Hud 11:7. The black stone is part of that test, a symbol inviting us to believe not only in what we see, but in what we feel deep in our hearts. Every year, millions gather to perform Hajj, circling the Kaaba, their eyes fixed on the black stone. For some, it is the moment they have waited for their whole lives. To touch the stone is to feel a connection to Ibrahim and Ismail, to Prophet Muhammad, and to countless souls who have made the journey before. It is a moment filled with tears, prayers whispered in countless languages, and silent awe. The stone becomes a mirror reflecting the pilgrim's hopes, fears, and dreams. Yet the black stone also teaches humility. Despite its revered status, it is still just a stone. It cannot answer prayers or grant wishes. It is a reminder that true power and mercy belong to Allah alone. It points beyond itself, toward the one who created the heavens, the earth, and all that lies between. There is a quiet suspense in standing before the black stone, an invitation to wonder and to trust. Why has this stone captured so much devotion? Because it carries the weight of history and faith, of miracles and human longing. Think about the many hands that have reached out, the lips that have brushed its surface. Each pilgrim adds a new layer of story to the stone, a story of belief, repentance, gratitude, or hope. The black stone connects the past with the present, the earth with the heavens, the human with the divine. It is a mystery that invites us all to step closer, to look beyond the visible, and to trust in what lies unseen. So the black stone remains, a silent guardian of the Kaaba's sacredness, a gift from the heavens that carries with it the weight of countless prayers and the light of eternal faith. Have you ever wondered how millions of people, scattered across the globe, in cities, villages, deserts, and mountains, can all close their eyes, bow their heads, and face exactly the same direction when they pray? This mysterious direction is toward the Cabba, the ancient house built by Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail. But how did this happen? Why does the entire Muslim world face one small cube-shaped building in the desert, thousands of miles away? This question is one of the greatest wonders of faith and science combined. Long ago, before the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the people of Arabia did not all face the same direction when praying. Some worshiped many gods, others prayed toward different idols. There was confusion and division. Then Allah, in His infinite wisdom, gave a clear command, one that would unite hearts and souls across the world. Indeed, we see the turning of your face, O Muhammad, toward the heaven, and we will surely turn you to a Qibla with which you will be pleased. So turn your face toward Al-Masjid al-Haram, and wherever you believers are, turn your faces toward it. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:144. This verse reveals the sacred command. Muslims must face the Masjid al-Haram, the Grand Mosque in Mecca, where the Kaaba stands whenever they pray. It was a moment of profound change, a divine decree that brought unity. But here's the mystery. The Kaaba is a tiny structure, a simple cube no taller than a few stories. How can it become the spiritual center for nearly 2 billion people? How can one point on Earth become the heart of a global community? Imagine the Earth as a vast globe, spinning slowly through space. From New York to Tokyo, from Cairo to Sydney, millions of Muslims stop what they are doing 5 times a day to face this one place. For them, the Kaaba is more than a building. It is the compass of their faith, and it is also a scientific wonder. Long before satellites and GPS, Believers were commanded to face the Kaaba with remarkable accuracy. This command challenged human knowledge of geography and astronomy. It became a source of deep reflection for scholars and scientists throughout history. Many early Muslim astronomers and mathematicians dedicated their lives to calculating the Qibla, the direction toward the Kaaba, from anywhere on earth. They created intricate charts and formulas, connecting faith with logic and observation. This blend of science and spirituality is one of Islam's greatest legacies. But beyond the calculations and geography, the Qibla carries deep emotional and spiritual meaning. Facing the Kaaba is a daily act of submission, a turning of the heart toward Allah. It is a reminder that no matter where you are part of a larger community, a community united by faith. Imagine a young boy in a small village, or a busy businesswoman in a towering city, both bowing at the same moment, facing the same sacred house. They may never meet, but their prayers rise together like a river flowing toward the divine. This shared direction creates a powerful bond. It breaks down walls of distance, language, and culture, forging a single, global family. Yet the mystery deepens when we think about the Qibla's origins. The command to face the Kaaba came to Prophet Muhammad in Medina, several hundred kilometers away from Mecca, at a time when the young Muslim community faced great challenges and opposition. Changing the direction of prayer was not just a spiritual act, it was a bold statement of identity and faith. The Muslims had to turn away from the previous Qibla, which was toward Jerusalem, and face the Kaaba instead. This change caused confusion, even among the Prophet's closest companions. Some worried about how the new direction would affect their prayers. But Allah reassured them, "We have certainly seen the turning of your face, O Muhammad, toward the heaven, and we will surely turn you to a Qibla with which you will be pleased. So turn your face toward Al-Masjid Al-Haram." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:144. This divine direction was a sign of Allah's power and wisdom, reminding believers that faith is not limited by human understanding or convenience. Today, the Qibla continues to unite Muslims. Wherever you go, on planes, ships, or remote islands, you will find a way to face the Kaaba. Technology has even developed digital Qibla compasses to help travelers. But more importantly, the act of facing the Kaaba invites every believer to pause and remember their purpose. It is a moment of reflection and connection with something much greater than themselves. The Kaaba stands silently in the desert, but its spiritual presence is felt everywhere. In the bustling cities, quiet homes, and sacred mosques around the world. This connection is a source of strength, hope, and peace for millions. It teaches that no matter the challenges or distances, turning toward Allah is always possible. And so, the sacred direction remains one of Islam's greatest mysteries and blessings. It is a symbol of unity that transcends time, space, and circumstance, an eternal compass guiding hearts to the divine. As you imagine standing in prayer, facing the Kaaba, feel the invisible thread that connects you to millions of others. Feel the centuries of faith that surround you. And know that this direction is a promise that wherever you are never alone. Every year, a great wave of people moves toward one place, the Kaaba. This journey is called Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and it is a powerful act of faith, devotion, and unity. But Hajj is more than just a physical journey. It is a spiritual adventure filled with mystery, emotion, and lessons that change the heart forever. Imagine millions of footsteps pounding the soft desert sand, voices raised in prayer, and hearts beating as one. Pilgrims come from every corner of the globe, rich and poor, young and old, strong and weak, all drawn by the invisible thread of faith. The Quran commands this sacred pilgrimage and proclaim to the people the Hajj pilgrimage. They will come to you on foot and on every lean camel. They will come from every distant pass. Surah Al-Hajj 22:27. The journey begins with intention, a quiet promise in the heart. Pilgrims cleanse themselves, dressed in the simple white garments called ihram, symbolizing purity and equality. Here, kings and beggars stand side by side, their worldly differences set aside. But what makes this pilgrimage so special? Why has it captivated millions for over 1,000 years? It is the mystery of transformation. Walking around the Kaaba 7 times, known as tawaf, is not just a ritual. It is a powerful symbol of life's cycles, of turning towards God again and again, seeking forgiveness and mercy. Each step is a prayer, each circle a new beginning. Then comes Sa'i, the walk between the hills of Safa and Marwa, remembering Hagar's desperate search for water for her son Ismail. Her story reminds pilgrims of faith in hardship and trust in Allah's mercy. Pilgrims drink from the Zamzam well, tasting water that sprang miraculously from the earth, a living reminder of divine care and provision. This water carries stories of hope and survival, whispered through centuries. But the pilgrimage is not easy. It tests patience, endurance, and humility. The heat of the desert sun beats down on thousands. Crowds press close. Fatigue threatens to overwhelm. Yet pilgrims push forward, driven by love for Allah and the desire for renewal. In this shared struggle, a profound connection forms between the individual and the divine, and among the millions of souls journeying together. There is sorrow in the tears shed for forgiveness, joy in the smiles of newfound friendship, and awe in the silence of night prayers beneath the stars. Many return from Hajj changed, their hearts lighter, their faith stronger, their lives renewed with purpose. The Quran reminds believers of the sacredness of this journey. That is so. And whoever honors the symbols of Allah, indeed, it is from the piety of hearts. Surah Al-Hajj 22:32. Hajj is a symbol of sacrifice, devotion, and unity. It is a reminder that faith requires action, commitment, and trust beyond words. But there is also a mystery. How does walking the same paths that Ibrahim, Ismail, and Muhammad once walked connect us across time and space? How do these ancient rituals carry such power today? Perhaps it is because each pilgrim becomes part of a living story, a story of humanity's search for meaning, for connection, for God. As the sun sets over the desert and the Kaaba's black cloth glows softly in the fading light, pilgrims rest their weary bodies. Yet their spirits are awake, alive with the knowledge that they are part of something eternal. This is the journey of faith, a journey filled with mystery, sacrifice, and immense love. Not far from the Kaaba, hidden beneath the burning sands of the desert, flows a source of life and hope, a well called Zamzam. Its waters have been flowing for thousands of years, a silent miracle that speaks of mercy, faith, and the unending kindness of Allah. But the story of Zamzam begins with a moment of deep fear and desperate hope, a moment that changed history forever. Imagine a young mother, Hagar, alone in the vast dry desert, her heart pounding with worry, her arms wrapped tightly around her baby, Ismail. They had been left there, without water or shelter, by the command of Allah and the will of Prophet Ibrahim. The sun blazed overhead. The heat was suffocating. Ismail cried with thirst, his tiny mouth searching for even a drop of water. Hagar's own throat was parched, her feet tired and blistered from running between two rocky hills, Safa and Marwa, searching for help. Her fear was real. The desert was silent except for the wind and her desperate footsteps. Then, in the midst of her exhaustion and despair, something extraordinary happened. Suddenly, water burst forth from the ground near her baby's feet, a spring of fresh, cool water gushing from the dry earth. This was the well of Zamzam, a divine gift that saved their lives and became a lasting symbol of Allah's mercy. The Quran speaks of this miracle, reminding us of Allah's care even in the darkest moments. And we ransomed him with a great sacrifice, and we left for him favorable mention among later generations. Peace upon Abraham. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. Surah As-Safat 37:107-109. Hagar's trust and patience had been rewarded with life itself. This well Zamzam has never stopped flowing since that day. Pilgrims who travel to Mecca come to drink its water, believing it holds blessings, both physical and spiritual. Imagine the countless hands that have scooped its water, The many thirsty lips that have found relief, the silent prayers whispered beside its ancient stones. Zamzam's water is said to bring healing and hope. Many who drink from it feel their spirits lifted, their worries eased, their faith renewed. But what makes Zamzam truly remarkable is not just its endless flow in the heart of a desert. It is the story of survival, trust, and divine mercy that it carries with every drop. Every pilgrim who drinks from Zamzam is reminded of Hagar's courage, the courage to never give up, even when surrounded by silence and despair. The story of Zamzam inspires believers to trust in Allah's mercy, to hold on to hope when all seems lost, and to remember that miracles can happen when faith remains strong. As you imagine the cool water of Zamzam flowing beneath your hands, think of the long journey it has made, from the moment it sprang forth to save a mother and child, to the millions who drink from it today. This well is a living link between the past and the present, between human struggle and divine grace. Zamzam teaches that even in the driest, hardest places, life and mercy can flow freely. And so, beside the Kaaba stands not only a house of worship, but a well of endless mercy, a reminder that Allah's care never runs dry. The Kaaba, the black stone, the sacred direction, the pilgrimage, and the Zamzam well. All these are parts of a great mystery that binds millions of hearts across the world. But what is it about this simple cube of stone in the desert that holds such power? How does it continue to unite so many, generation after generation, across oceans and continents? To understand this mystery, we must look beyond the stones and rituals. We must look into the very human hearts that turn toward the Kaaba every day. Imagine the bustling cities of the world: New York, Tokyo, Cairo, Lagos, and Paris. In each, there are millions of Muslims preparing to pray. As the call to prayer sounds, a wave of movement rises. Men, women, children, young and old, from every culture and background, turn their faces toward the Kaaba. This moment, repeated thousands of times a day, is more than an act of obedience. It is a powerful symbol of unity and hope. No matter where they come from, what language they speak, or what challenges they face, millions are connected by this shared direction. This is the mystery of the Kaaba, a silent, invisible thread weaving people into one family of faith. But this unity has not come easily. Throughout history, the Kaaba has witnessed trials and triumphs. In times of peace, it has been a place of gathering, worship, and joy. In times of conflict, it has faced threats, damage, and rebuilding. Yet no matter the storms, the Kaaba stands firm, unchanged in its purpose, unbroken in its spirit. The Quran tells us, "And due to Allah from the people is a pilgrimage to the house, for whoever is able to find their two away." Surah Al-Imran 397. This pilgrimage is a journey of faith, a test of devotion that continues to inspire millions. And the power of this unity goes beyond the physical. It reaches deep into the human spirit. When a pilgrim walks around the Kaaba, they are not just circling a building, they are circling centuries of faith, sacrifice, and hope. They join a chain of believers stretching back to Ibrahim, Ismail, and the Prophet Muhammad. Every step taken is a step taken in solidarity with the past, the present, and the future. This mystery, this unbreakable bond, is why the Kaaba remains the heart of Islam. It teaches us that despite differences, we can come together in faith and love. And in a world often divided by conflict and misunderstanding, the Kaaba stands as a timeless reminder of what unites us all: the search for meaning, the call to worship, and the desire to be close to Allah. So when you think of the Kaaba, think not only of stone and sand, but of the millions of hearts beating together in prayer. Think of the hope, the faith, and the mystery that continues to draw people toward this sacred house year after year. This is the real power of the Kaaba, a power that goes beyond the visible, reaching into the very soul of humanity. The story of the Kaaba is far more than history or stone. It is a living, breathing journey carried in the hearts of millions, people who turn toward it with hope, faith, in the deepest longing for connection. Its mysteries don't end with what we see or understand. They whisper to us through time, inviting us to ask questions, to believe in miracles, and to hold on to hope even when the world feels uncertain. So, what does the Kaaba mean to you? Is it a symbol of unity, a beacon of faith, or perhaps a mystery yet to be fully understood? We want to hear your thoughts. Share your reflections, your stories, or even your questions below. Because this journey, our journey, continues together. And maybe, just maybe, the true story of the Kaaba is not behind us, but still waiting to unfold. If this story touched your heart or sparked your curiosity, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what the Kaaba means to you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a journey into stories that inspire, unite, and awaken the soul. Your support helps us bring more amazing tales to life. Thank you for being part of this incredible community.